Well, greetings and good morning, business mathematics students. This is Mr. Doucette, and this is Business 20 here at Norco College, fall 2025. And we're going to be looking at business mathematics and basically how business mathematics is really basic math, but it's put into the context of the kinds of problems and solutions that are needed in the business environment. And of course, mathematics and finance and making money and all that are a big part of business. So you need to be a good manager of your money, and these business problems that we'll be solving will show you how to do that, how to make the most out of your money at the end of the day. And so we'll be looking at all kinds of things like marking things up and getting trade and cash discounts and then marking them up, and how much of a percentage do you want to make. We'll be looking at percentages. We'll be looking at inventory, depreciation, financial statements. We'll be looking at interest, compound interest, simple interest, things like that. All really interesting things, in my opinion. It's not a difficult class if you're afraid of math. The good news is it's pretty much, like I said, all basic math, but it's again in the context of business. So a lot of word problems, a lot of solutions, looking for solutions to situations where it's like I'm not really sure what mathematical processes I should be using. So we have a lot of tricks of the trade and a lot of ways in which you can determine what is the best way to solve these problems. And that's what we'll be going over in this course. Again, this is a welcome video, so welcome. Glad that you're in my class. It's also an opportunity to introduce myself. So again, my name is Eric Doucette. I've been teaching here at Norco College since 2016. I've full-time since 2021. And I teach predominantly business communications, managerial communications courses, and business math. Those are the two that kind of landed in my lap. I've done business 10 many times. I've done marketing. I've done management, all the rest. But these ones, because we have enough sections of them, kind of keep me busy. And this is a class I enjoy the most. I really enjoy mathematics. In fact, I think if I was to go back and do it all over again, I might have got a math degree and started teaching math instead, but I did a business degree, so I'm teaching business. But anyway, so what I would like to do in this video is to kind of explain to you how to get into Canvas if you've never done that. That's where our class is hosted online. This is a fully online course. It's an 8-week class. I also have a 16-week class. So I'm going to kind of merge these two videos together because some of you are in the 8-week class, some of you are in the 16-week class, and it's pretty much all the same. The only difference is the 16-week class, you're doing less each week, but you're going to be in class a lot longer. The 8-week class is a lot quicker, and you're covering more material each week. So I'll use this video to kind of cover both groups, but majority of everything I'm going to say is exactly the same for both of these classes. So I'll show you how to log in and log into Canvas. I'll show you how to navigate around our course online, and I'll show you how to complete the assignments, etc. And so that's what we'll do in this video. So let me start by first going to the Norco College website. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to go to the Norco College website, and that's where you're going to want to go as well. And then right up here in the corner is a little quick links button. So select quick links and then select Canvas. And that's going to bring you to the Canvas login page. And just keep in mind that I'm gonna log in, and it's gonna be different than yours. When you come here for the first time, you're gonna probably be asked to put in a username and a password, and the username for you is gonna be your email address, which is the same for me. But also your password, mine's gonna be already set. It's already loaded in there. Yours is going to be your birth date. So it's going to be the 2 digits of your month, the 2 digits of the day, and the 4 digits of your year. And once you've inputted all those, and once you've done it once, you don't need to redo it again. You should be able to log in instantaneously by logging into Canvas. It'll automatically populate for you depending on what browser you're using. But you can also do a 2-factor authentication like I just did. But ultimately, once you input all that information, it's going to bring you to what's called the Canvas dashboard, and that's what's loading on the screen right now. If you've never been here before, this is folders for all the classes that you are taking. In my case, these are all the classes I'm teaching or have taught, And so I have 4 classes right now for this fall semester. And our class here is Business 20. This is the 16-week class, and then Business 20, the 8-week class. So depending on which one you're in, you would select that folder, but it's not going to, the only folder that'll be on your dashboard is the one that you're in. So you don't have to worry about it. Just go ahead and select the folder. So I'm going to select the 8-week class to start with. And again, everything's exactly the same. The only difference is that the 16-week course is a lot longer. So it's going to be, I'm selecting the wrong thing. Here we go. And so it's a lot longer, meaning it's twice as long. So rather than doing 2 topics a week, you might be doing 1 topic a week. So we'll look at the 8-week and then we'll jump over to the 16-week. So here's our Canvas homepage. This is where basically I designed a navigation page where you can get to everything that you need. This class, both 16-week and 8-week, is broken into 4 modules. The 8-week class is 2-week modules. That means 8 weeks, right? Every module is 2 weeks, so that's 8 weeks. In the 16-week module, every module is 4 weeks, so you have a little more time. Basically, again, you're just getting more time. And so what these 4 blue circles represent here are the 4 modules based off of dates. So you're going to be working in module number 1 from today until September 7th, and then from September 8th to the 21st, you'll be working in module 2. And of course, to get to the module and to get to the coursework, you just select the blue button that's numbered, but we'll come back to that in a minute. There's also here a syllabus button. So this is where the syllabus is. If you select that, it should bring you to a syllabus that's online, and it's the most recent and current. It's also the one that I've emailed you recently, but anything that needs to be changed or any updates will always be reflected in this latest version. So you can view the syllabus here. You can also download the syllabus here. If you notice at the top, so if you want to get the latest copy, you can certainly do that. That's what the syllabus button is for. Next to that is the Cengage logo. The Cengage is the textbook. So this class does have an ebook attached to it. It's $60 to access that ebook, and I highly recommend that you do that, or that you purchase a textbook, and I'll show you how to get to other options for that. But you definitely will need the textbook. I don't think that you can get enough by just doing the study pages that I've created, although you'll see that they're quite robust. So we'll go over the textbook in a second when I click the Start Here button. I wanted you to see that there's a help button here on the home page, and this help button has my email address. It has my cell number, so you're welcome to text me if it's an emergency. It has the help desk number and email address, as well as Canvas's phone number. So if you need to get a hold of Canvas because you're having issues there, or you need to get a hold of the help desk here at Norco, it's all under the help button. Not only that, but it's an open forum. So if you select reply here, you can ask a question, you can comment on something, you can answer another student's question. So the idea here is this is an open forum. I will come in and check these regularly. I will answer the questions that are here. This is really for open dialogue among students as well as myself. So please utilize this feature. Once you've typed in your question or comment, you can attach a document if you want to, and you can also just select reply, and it'll post it here, and everyone in the class will be able to see that. So that is the help button. And then lastly, there is an office hours link here. So this is, if you select this, it takes you to my office hours. Now I do have on-campus office hours on Monday and Wednesday from 11 to 1. I also have virtual office hours on Thursday from 10 to 11. That means I'll be available in Zoom. I also have a book time account. So if you select that, you can pick another time that might work for you that we can do a Zoom session in. So I'm available Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to do that. So if you want to set up a time on any one of those 3 days, click the book time with Do Set Eric, and you can pick a time and a date. It'll send me an email. And if I have any issues with that day and time, I'll let you know. If not, we'll meet at that time, and we will have our Zoom session then. So that is the office hours link. So keep that in mind. That link in there, by the way, is also where we'll have any Zoom sessions that we do. And then I'm going to go ahead and click the Start Here button. And this is really where you should go when you first come to the home page, is select the Start Here button. There is a video excuse me, there is a welcome announcement by me. There's a bio right here of me if you want to learn a little bit about me, a little bit about the class. I do have a communication policy. You can read that. The best way to get a hold of me is email. That's predominantly how I communicate, but I also would respond to texts. So if it's urgent and you need to get a hold of me right away, then please text me. If not, then email me. You can also meet with me again during my office hours, or just keep in mind, I technically need to get back to you within a day or two. I get back to you much sooner than that. I'm usually a couple of hours if you email me, maybe even less. If you text me, I pretty much will do it right away unless I can't at the moment. So keep that in mind, depending on the urgency of your need. If it's very urgent, text me. If it can wait a half a day, email me. If it's something that you can really wait, then meet me during my office hours and we'll go over whatever issues you have. As far as me interacting with you, I will do course announcements twice a week. I will give you messages on your assignments. I will send messages to you if I feel like there's a need for me to reach out to you. I'll send you a Canvas inbox message, and that's right over here. You can also message each other in the Canvas inbox. So if you want to communicate with other students or in any of the assignments that are open, like any of the discussions, things like that, you can certainly speak to other students. You can also speak to them through the forum that I showed you under the help button. So that's the ways in which we communicate. This is an online class, so it's 100% online. Again, another link to register for the ebook. As far as navigating the course online, or excuse me, not online, but on a phone or tablet, it's a little different. You don't always see that left menu that you see here on my screen now. So you just click the little down arrow or right next to the sunglasses, and that'll open up the menu that's on the left here on your phone or tablet. Here you can also get and read the syllabus. You can watch the welcome video. There is a pre-test to this class. That's 10 extra credit points no matter how you do. And you'll be taking the post-test at the end. It's 10 questions based on business math. If you don't know it, don't worry about it. Hopefully at the end you will. And so just do your best. And then there's a mandatory check-in assignment that you must do by the end of the first week in order to remain in the course. So make sure you do that right away. And it's basically just personal questions. You don't need the textbook to do it. And nor do you need the textbook to do the pretest because it's really gauging what you know right now. But that's the two assignments that you need to do right away. Those are very critical. And then here's another option to get the textbook. Here's the textbook name and edition. Again, you can purchase it online. You can purchase it at the bookstore. You can go to Amazon, go to Chegg, but you don't need any access codes because everything in this class is done in Canvas. All the quizzes, all the exams, all the discussion posts, all the homework, whatever you end up doing, case studies in this class, it's all done here in Canvas. So you don't need to go anywhere else other than to read the book. You can do everything in Canvas. In fact, I even include the PowerPoint slides that I would normally use for teaching. So anyway, once you've done all that, you can get started by going to module number 1. And by the way, there is a schedule down here of the whole course as well. But I'm going to go back to the home page and I'm going to go to module number 1, which is the first blue circle in the table. And that's going to bring me to module number 1, which is how we've divided the class. So again, the 8-week class is divided into 2-week modules. The 16-week class is devoted to 4-week modules. And the only difference is how much coursework that you need to complete within that week. So in the 8-week class, for instance, this first week, you have 3 chapters to look at. That deals with decimals, checking accounts, and then your only bit of algebra that you'll be doing using equations to solve business problems, which really equals to nothing more than isolating the variable. If you know what I'm talking about, it'll be a breeze for you. The only challenge is that you're doing it with word problems predominantly. So just keep that in mind, especially as we move further into the course. But the way that I've designed this class, each module is the same, whether it's 8-week or 16. You have a read me first section. So I encourage you have to read these and mark them as done before you can unlock any of the stuff down here. So if you just jump down into your assignments, you won't be able to do them because you haven't cleared the read me first button. So go through the videos, watch the welcome video, do the read me first, do the Meet Sienna, read those, and then at the very bottom, there'll be a little button that says mark as done. You mark those as done, and that will open up the ability for you to do the assignments. Each chapter in every module will have its own study page. I'm going to show you that. In the study page, there is some textbook areas that you should read and review. And this is and I'm only giving you the sections that you need to cover. In other words, there's areas of the book that we're not even going to touch on, so they're not reflected in these study pages. So for chapter 3, it's 3:1 through 3:7. Those are the sections that you should be doing. I give you the PowerPoint for chapter 3. I also give you some YouTube videos that deal with the topics that we're going to be covering: decimal arithmetic, converting fractions to decimals, etc. If you have any trouble, reach out to me. If you have any trouble, you can review the textbook again and watch the videos. Now, this first week, I don't have any course videos that I've done. Starting next week, however, there will be, and actually, I think in chapter 4 and 5, there are videos that I've done on the study pages. So let's take a look. If you go to chapter 4, in this case, yeah, here's a video of me working out problems on chapter 4 and 5. So you can also watch that video. Now, just little caveat there is they're not that good. I made them a few years ago. I'm actually going to be remaking them this year as I teach the class on the 16-week class. I'll be redoing them. So the first week you'll get no new videos, but starting next week I'll be posting new videos. But anyway, this is the 3 chapters that you need to study in week number 1 for the 8-week class. And then you have your assignments. You have the initial mandatory check-in assignment. This is for both 8 and 16 week. A mandatory pretest is for both the 8 and 16 week. You have a quiz for chapter for the 8 week. You have a 3-chapter quiz. For the 16 week, I believe you only have a 1 or 2-chapter quiz. And then you all have, both classes, a case study. The 8-week class only has 2 weeks to complete it. The 16-week class has 4 weeks to complete it. So this is your first week's assignments, and every module is exactly the same. The only difference is that some modules end with an exam as well, and that's going to be in the 8-week class at week 4 and week 8. In the 16-week class, it's going to be every 4 weeks that you have an exam. So you have 2 exams in the 8-week, but you have 4 exams that are shorter and more concentrated in the 16-week class. So that is how every module is laid out. So make sure you always do the README first, that you always do the study pages. And starting in week 2, I give you a formula sheet. It's new every week with all the formulas that you need to know. And then do the coursework once you've worked through all those other sections. And next week, you'll be looking at percents and trade discounts. Now, that's the 8-week class. Let me jump over for just a minute to the 16-week class, because I just want to show you that it's a little bit more spread out, but you're still covering all of the same material. So selecting the 16-week class, notice that, again, 4 modules. I do have an extra button here. It's just course details. It gives you the SLOs and all that kind of stuff that's already in the syllabus. But I'm going to go ahead and select module 1 here in the 16-week class. And you'll see that, again, you have the README first, you have the Meet Sienna. You're supposed to mark those as done. You're going to be looking at chapter 3 and 4, but not chapter 5. That'll be in its own module, or its own week next week. But you still have the initial check-in assignment. You still have the mandatory pretest, and then you have just a quiz, and you have the case study. I'm sorry, that needs to be moved up. It's probably way down here. I'll have to add that in. Here it is, case study. And it's on choosing a bank. So I have to move it up here to the first week. So you'll be starting that. It says completed here, but I'll change that to start case study number 1. And this is a really fun assignment. You're going to basically be picking a bank based off of their costs. So which one is the most, oops, sorry. Got to get back to I'm in the wrong screen here. So give me a second. You're going to be picking an assignment, picking a bank based on which one's going to be the least amount annually for cost. So that'll be the assignment. That's for both classes. So, all right, so that's pretty much it, I believe, for this class. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And you'll be hearing from me, like I said, a couple times a week. I'll be doing a welcome video every week. Not a welcome video, a announcement video every week, giving you the latest of what needs to be done, what needs to be worked on, etc. It looks like I didn't edit this assignment yet. I apologize, 16-week students. So let me change that to September 21st. I think that's the end of week number 3. I haven't taught the 16 week in a while, so I'm having to go back and revamp quite a bit of it. So that's that. But that's pretty much it for a welcome video and for the first week. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out to me during my office hours, text me, whatever. I'm going to be doing. Oh, I need to do note this though, is I will be doing a Zoom session every week for the 16-week class, and I'm doing that mostly to record new videos. So you're welcome to join in on those Zoom sessions. I'll show you where they're at in the syllabus. I don't think I put them in here yet, but in the syllabus, there'll be a link in the module each week that I do that. But if you go to the syllabus, you'll see that I have every week a Zoom session planned. And if any of you 16-week people or 8-week people want to join in, you're welcome to, because it's the same link that we use for our office hours. So you would just click that link and it will bring you there. So basically, starting next Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'm going to be going over Chapter 5 problems and working those out. And then the following week, the reason it probably wouldn't work for this 8-week people to join in is that we're going to be way behind. You're going to be way ahead, 8-week people. But the following week, we're going to be covering percents in 11 o'clock on the 10th Wednesday. So each week, and I'm going to be recording these and then replacing the videos that I have now with these new videos. So that's why I'm holding the Zoom session. They're not mandatory, they're optional, but if you want a little extra help and some interaction, this would be the place to meet with me to go over those different mathematical problems. So, all right, well, hopefully this was helpful, and looking forward to a great semester with you all. And please, again, don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything, and I'm here to help. And you'll be hearing from me multiple times for multiple different reasons throughout the course of each week. And I try and grade as much as I can on real time. So as you submit assignments, I will go in and try and get those done. And by the way, every week you do have, both classes have a check-in assignment. You have the mandatory one the first week, which is personal questions, but each week after that, you're helping Sienna solve a problem. And that it's specific to her business. And the whole class is kind of built around this health and fitness store that Sienna owns. And I apologize, I didn't mention that earlier. And so all the problems are put in the context of her business. So you kind of get to see in a practical, real life way how this math is relevant to a specific business. So hopefully that's helpful. So have a great first week, everybody. You'll see me on video again next week.